calling in for the weekly Millionaire Mentorship call. Black Diamond out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, coming to you live. Super excited about this particular week's Millionaire Mentorship call, as I am every week. It's something that I truly do look forward to being able to either listen to or participate in. And if it is something that I can't listen to live, I definitely get back to the recorded messages, the recorded messages that we have from all of the amazing speakers that we have on every week here. Especially like the calls over the last couple of weeks with Stephen Nielsen and Edwin Haynes that really brought the heat back into the business here, guys. It's been an amazing year. I mean, 2018 is starting to peel away from us here. I was on a call with our international team, and I set out a challenge, and that was a 100-day challenge, and it's already at 85 days now we've got left in the year, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to be the biggest 3 months, close to 3 months left in the year. It's going to be the biggest 3 months of the year. It's when I like to call it, this is the massive action. This is the red zone of the year, the last 3 months of the year, where we're actually going to get a lot of things done here. So much has happened over the last year in 2018, over the last 9 months. It's been truly amazing. Of course, getting back, over the last month from the international convention. I know we've in Las Vegas there. I know we've got a number of over 300 people that are on the Seize the Moment OG Getaway cruise that's going through the Caribbean right now. And it's so amazing to be able to, look at the pictures and just stay in contact with all the people that are on that trip right now. I know we've got people all around the world, ladies and gentlemen, leadership all around the world that is actually out there making a difference every day. And, if you're on this call for the first time, if a friend of yours recommend that you get onto this call live or you listen to this on the repeat, welcome. And if you're on the call again, as you are every week, either listening to a live or you're listening to the repeat, welcome back. And ladies and gentlemen, I truly believe that this 1 hour of time that we spend, a minimum of 1 hour a week that we spend listening to people who have really got the results that you're looking for. And that's really what I love about the Millionaire Mentorship call, ladies and gentlemen. It's a call that has been persistent and consistent, being recorded and being broadcast over the last 10 years, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Organo is a 10-year company, 10 years old. June 2008 is when Organo first started. It's actually when I first started into the business, and it's been 10 years that we've been able to participate in this amazing company and really just receive so many blessings inside of this. And it all has come down to the fact that we have products, ladies and gentlemen, that people want, need, and really can't afford to go without, because truly what we have inside of our products, if you've been listening to some of our Red Zone calls that we have on the last 10 days of the month, or you've been listening to any of the product calls that we have going on a regular basis, getting into some of the recordings on OGU, OG University, OG Academy, OGA. OGU was the old one, OG Academy. You can get onto that and you can look at all of the previously recorded, and you can listen to the leadership. And that's really what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen, is leadership truly is the secret ingredient. If you really want to know my thoughts on if there was a shortcut to success, and people ask me all the time as I speak around the world and I mentor people and I give them just simple advice, practical, applicable advice every day that they can use inside of their regular daily activities, is that you got to stay consistent and you've got to be persistent. So meaning that you've got to do something every day, and you have to do it every day. And if you do that, you start to create those habits that create your results, and your results, of course, are things that you picture every day. And it's the leadership inside of our business here with the vision of Mr. Bernie Chua, Mr. Shane Moran, and Mr. Holton Buggs, who have really laid out a foundation for us to succeed in so many ways. And I love the fact that inside of this business, again, we have products that everybody really does want, and people always spend money on things they want before things they need. And I've never met a person that has ever answered this question negatively when I ask them, hey, you're a coffee drinker? And they answer, yes. I ask them, when are you going to stop? And the answer is always, is funny, because they smile and look at me strangely and they say, what do you mean, when am I going to stop? I'm never going to stop. And isn't that a beautiful statement when you really think about it, is that we have products that people are never going to stop using. And that makes this business so much more fun and so much more available for everybody out there. Because, you know, Rhonda and I, my wife Rhonda, you know, we got started in this business back in 2008 in June. And you know, our previous background before that was a traditional business in the oil and gas industry and the construction industry. And those all had a lot of amazing opportunities, and we got some great results from those. But really what it took, ladies and gentlemen, it took a lot of time, it took a lot of money, and it really took away a lot of our freedom. And that's really what concerned me about traditional business, is that, you know, if you worked hard, you worked smart, you risked money, you did the extra, you put in the long hours, you were the first one in, the last one out, you know, where everybody else gets paid before you get paid. You know, if you've ever owned a business, you know what I'm talking about. And if you're willing to do that, you know, you can become your own boss. You actually can, you know, drive your own future. However, when your efforts are 100% required 100% of the time, what it does is there's got to be a price that's paid. And that price, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of times is your freedom, is your time freedom. And I thought to myself, you know, I wasn't interested in, even though I owned my own businesses, I wasn't interested in investing all of my time into one thing. And I really noticed that it was taking up a lot of my life. And so I thought to myself, there's got to be something else. There's got to be another way, or an additional way, additional stream of income that I can look at. And it was Miss Marianne Note, our sponsor and our very good friend that we've known for well over a decade, who really talked to us first. And it was Rhonda she talked to and said, look, you know, I have something that may be of interest to you. You know, and it was Rhonda who really caught the vision. And she said, you know what? I'm a coffee drinker. Steve's really not a coffee drinker, doesn't really understand this. She didn't understand the industry, how things were to be done, you know, the system of success. None of that was there. But what she did get is that everybody that she knew, including herself, drank coffee, and she felt that if it tasted good and it made people feel better, that why not? Why not share it? And that's really the decision that was made. And ladies and gentlemen, there's so many stories like that inside of Organo right now, where that's the exact story, is that a friend of mine simply gave me a sample of coffee, of tea, of hot chocolate, or maybe gave me an energy drink, or maybe one of our brand new sachets of OGX Phoenix. You know, somebody gave me a shake, somebody gave me a sample. And that's really, ladies and gentlemen, how we launched the business. And still today, with so many innovations and new creations that have happened inside of Organo, especially after the last convention, with some of the new opportunities that we have inside the business, it still comes down to the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, this is the Millionaire Mentorship call, meaning that, you know, you're going to be listening to people who have experience, who have results, and have followed a system of success. And all we're doing, all I'm doing, all I've been asked to do is to share with you what I do every day, what we do every day, what we teach every day to our friends, to our family, and to our teammates all around the world. So this is what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, is never discount the fact that samples grow the business. It truly is just that simple. You know, we have a simple system of success, and we always have. And that's really what we focused on from day one. And I mean, that's why, you know, when you really think about what Organo is, and you know, I try to explain it to people from different parts of the world all the time. And you know, in the beginning, I say, well, yeah, we're simple. We're a coffee company, and we, we share coffee with people around the world, and we give them products that they want. And I thought to myself, it's not, you know, I want to come up with something that kind of explains a little bit more about, you know, how I like to explain Organo is that Organo is a globally recognized and celebrated brand that's 10 years old. I mean, I think that's important. You know, we're known around the world for bringing healthy lifestyle products to the world. And that's really what it is that we have healthy lifestyle products. And when you think about the industry of health and wellness, the health and wellness industry, which is a multi-trillion-dollar industry, inside of the health and wellness industry, there's different categories, and we actually focus on the the weight management category, which is ultimately a multi-billion-dollar industry inside of a trillion-dollar industry as well. So when you think about really what we have, we have such simple products that are so effective for so many people around the world that it really makes this business very possible. And I love that because, you know, people around the world are looking for more. And the reason they're looking for more, ladies and gentlemen, is because it's available. And when you see how the world has shrunk, it really has. I mean, there's more people in the world today than there ever has been in the history of mankind. However, the world is smaller because of the way that we communicate with each other. And it's so amazing that we have technology that really bridges, bridges the oceans, bridges the landmass, bridges people together. And it allows us actually to communicate and to build friendships and to share with what we have with people all around the world. And you see the evidence of that everywhere. And you know, I want to give a big shout out to some of my amazing friends and my partners down there in South Africa. That's right. At the OG Expo in September, we announced brand new country coming on, South Africa. And I can tell you that you know, we've got some amazing leadership down there, and we've got some people who have really embodied the word perseverance and persistence. You know, when I think of people like Cosmos Mugambi and you know, Abby Aikiola and Edwin Haynes, and you know, when you celebrate what they have done, you know, and these are people that I remember in the early days, you know, back in 2009, where we all got to travel to China together. We traveled to China, and we actually got to see for the first time in organo history where the Ganoderma grows. You know, the amazing king of herbs that is in all of our products. And we actually got to see how it's growing, and we got to listen to the people who are so passionate about this product. And it's such a vital part of our business because, you know, I think number one, when you're sharing products with people is if our coffee tastes good, and it does, then that's going to lower the barriers, and that's going to open up a lot of doors for you. So we've got products that people love the taste of. You know, have you ever tried the shakes? You know, I mean, literally, Holton Bugs explains it best when he says, you know, it tastes like liquid birthday cake, and you know, the chocolate one, the chocolate shake, you know, truly does taste like a Wendy's Frosty, if you know Wendy's, the you know, the fast food chain. But it's amazing. So all of our products taste so great. But see, the secret, ladies and gentlemen, is that they work so amazingly. And see, people don't even know that they're putting health into their body because it tastes so good. And Marianne Note has a great way of explaining. She says, you know, we have stealth health. We just simply use products that we were drinking, that we were eating, that we were taking. Anyway, you know, people drink coffee, people eat food, people take energy drinks, you know, and now we've got the new beauty line that's going to be coming on, you know, and I love the way that Edwin explained it in the last Millionaire Mentorship call. You know, he says, the one before Stephen, he says, you know, we were hoping that we were going to have, you know, the start of a beauty line. No, the Organo went and exceeded our expectations. They actually went out and bought a whole company. So they bought a whole company that's already been doing this for years and years, and brought the whole company over. So I mean, when Organo does something, they do it big, and you know, I get excited for that, ladies and gentlemen, because that's going to be some amazing products that came out. We had an opportunity to take a look at some of them at the expo. If you were there, you know what I'm talking about. You know, and had a chance to meet with some of the people. So you know, when we talk about the leadership here, you know, I want to just, you know, send out a big congratulations again to the South African market, and you know, the diamonds that are there and they've been built there. You know, we've been working for years inside of Nigeria and Kenya, and you know, the leadership has not left. The leadership started it and stayed, and now a new country is on. And you know, I want to just big shout out to, you know, to Alice and Beatrice and Lillian, and we even got Dr. Harry Benjamin over there that's always over there and just sending back some great messages and some great feedback. And we've even got Luca, you know, young man Diamond out of Italy there, that's down there. He's got some teams down there, and I mean, it's really bringing the world together. And you know, they had a big event on Saturday, and they're going to continue to keep doing that. So you know, anybody in that South African market, you know, we've got some big things happening right there right now. So again, I love to speak about that because really, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that evidence is truly the cure of all doubt. When you look at anything in life, and you know, you're gonna talk to people, and you're gonna listen to people, and they're gonna tell you their stories, and they're gonna, you know, try to, you know, maybe try to convince you on this, convince you on that. But you know, what it really comes down to, ladies and gentlemen, is this: is that, you know, if you truly if you truly do see the evidence, and I mean, we have a company that is 10 years old, that has done over $2 billion in global sales, you know, that has created a vast amount of wealth, generational wealth, and truly generational impact when you really think about what it is that we have done, and the type of people that have that are inside of Organo, the quality of people, the integrity of these people is truly world class, and it continues to keep showing every day. So, you know, if you're in the business and you've been in the business for a while, my advice to you simple is, you know, keep going, never give up, keep going, and never stop. You know, it's not an option. I mean, you might fall down. You might even fail now and then, but that's required for success, ladies and gentlemen. You actually do have to fall down before you learn how to walk, and you have to walk before you learn how to run. But when you start running, ladies and gentlemen, because you've done it the right way, there's no going back. You know, you're going to reach some amazing goals, and you're going to be able to follow this amazing leadership all the way to the top. So, again, big congratulations to Organo, and big congratulations to that amazing leadership that we have over there in South Africa, and truly looking forward to celebrating massive results over there. I know we had a big September. We were breaking records, and October looks like it's going to be even bigger right now. Talking to the corporate, you know, we had some amazing brand new pins, sapphires breaking, a lot of VIPs, a lot of platinums and platinum elites, and more to come, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, this is just just the first month after the big announcement. So we've got some amazing things coming down the line here. So tonight, what I want to talk about, I've got a few things to cover. Hopefully that I get through it all, because I believe that one of the most important things on these calls, on these millionaire mentorship calls, is that, you know, you take away something from this call. And hopefully you've got, your favorite beverage in front of you, whatever that might be. It could be an energy drink, could be one of our hot beverages. Maybe you've got an iced mocha going or something like that. You know, maybe you're having your dinner, or a late dinner, a shake or something like that. But I also hope you've got a piece of paper and some pen. And a pen, and maybe a few pieces of paper, because I've got some information here that I think is important for you to take away, and I want to be able to teach you something tonight that I truly believe, if you're able to apply, you're going to get different results. And it comes down to a mindset, ladies and gentlemen, and it usually does, and that's why we call it the Millionaire Mentorship Call, because it's about plugging in. It's about really interrupting the way that you normally think. And see if the way that you do things every day and the way that you think every day was absolutely perfect and in place, then I'm sure you would have much bigger results than you do today. And I'm talking about myself included. You know, even the leadership that's on these calls every week we're learning from these calls and getting better every day. And that's really the goal, ladies and gentlemen, is that every day in every way we just get a little bit better. And that is a simple thing to say, but it's not overly simple to do. But if you commit to it, you can make that happen. So when I look at Organo, I really think of three options for Organo, like three things that we can do inside of Organo when we're speaking to new people. And I think the first option, obviously, is, you know, people always have the opportunity to buy retail from us, person to person. So we can definitely share our products. And if people are interested in maybe, taking a one-box challenge, put that out there, challenge them to finish one box of your product, whatever that might be. Maybe it's coffee, maybe it's tea, maybe it's hot chocolate, maybe it's a bag of shake, maybe it's a box of our XT or DX. Challenge them to buy one box from you minimum, and just use that product only and replace whatever it is that they were drinking there. So if they're drinking some other type of coffee, get them just to change the brand just for a month. Take a one-box challenge. And this is what I like to say to people is, look, if you finish that box, this is what I say to people that I'm retailing my product to. Look, if you finish that box, I'll give you 100% money back guarantee. I said, if you bring back that box to me empty, and you look me in the eyes with an empty box and you say, Steve, I drank all 30 cups of black coffee and I hated every one of them. I couldn't stand it, but I finished it anyway because you told me to. I'll be very happy. I'll be very happy to give all your money back. I'll give you back your $30. $35, whatever I sell it for, I'll be very happy to give that back to you. So you have 100% guarantee, and what you're getting is basically you're buying coffee from me for, about $1 a cup. And so I've actually never, over the last 10 years, had anybody come back to me and actually give back an empty box of coffee. It never happened to me once. But I'm telling you, that's how confident I am that people are going to love our product and the way that it makes them feel. So we can buy retail. That's obviously an option that Organo has always available. Now, there's another option out there that people can actually buy wholesale. So for a simple membership, kind of like, I know that Casey was talking about it in one of her calls. She talked about, sort of like a Costco membership. I don't know if you've got Costco wherever you are around the world. I know in North America for sure they do. But that Costco membership costs more than $100 a month. And what that allows you, or a year, I'm sorry, $100 a year for a Costco membership. And what that allows you to do is, as a member, go in and buy discounted, groceries and things like that from Costco. And so it allows you to buy basically wholesale. We have the same sort of program inside of Organo where you can buy wholesale by simply buying a $49.95 membership, which gives you also access to a back office that allows you to order online. It gives you updates, and it's a massive management system for your business. And if all you're interested in doing is just buying wholesale, then you can do that. And if it looks like something that you want to buy wholesale and you want to get some products started, the bronze or the silver kit is a great package for you to start with, or people to start with inside of your organization if they're just looking at really buying wholesale, because the bronze package really gives you an opportunity to really try the product. I call it like a starter kit where you can actually try a few of the products, get to feel them a little bit, and maybe share with close personal family members inside the house. Silver pack gives you a little bit more product, so it gives you a little bit more variety for you to actually try and to build a little bit of a testimonial. But if you're just interested in buying wholesale, that's always going to be available for you. And then of course the third option I'd like to talk about is get paid to drink and to share. So if you're going to be consuming coffee or tea or chocolate every day anyway, you're going to be you're going to be drinking energy drinks, you're going to be interested in taking care of your skin, possibly you're looking at some sort of a meal replacement program. If you're on those already now, why not get paid to build a testimonial, to build your belief? So that's why I like to tell people, look, the gold pack is a good package for you. Number one, it's the one that I started with, and it's not something that you have to take and instantly become a diamond from, and you don't have to, you don't have to become an expert overnight. But if you're interested in creating that additional stream of income, like I talked about earlier on in the call here today, one of my key concerns in life when I was building my business, my traditional businesses, was that I was going to get trapped trading time for money. Even though I owned my businesses, I was still trapped with my time. It took all of my time to make sure that I could be profitable inside of those businesses, and that really concerned me. So, Warren Buffett talks about it in a lot of the things that he writes. Of course, Warren Buffett, one of the richest people ever to live, and continues to keep being that person consistently year after year. He's always in the top 10 at least in the most wealthiest people in the world. He had a great way of explaining. He says, it's important that you learn how to make money while you sleep, because if you don't, you're going to work for the rest of your life. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is powerful when you think about it. And he also goes on to say that he recommends that you have a minimum of 7 streams of income, 7 streams of additional income coming into the household. This is a good strategy, a good wealth management plan, because having only one stream of income is very dangerous. Because if something happens to that stream of income, if you're physically, if you have to be there to make that income, if something happens to you, well, your income is going to be impacted by the fact that you can't participate in building that income. So, when you're looking at this as a long-term plan, Organo is an amazing additional stream of income, because the truth about it is that in this business, I have found that more than 95% of the people that actually get started in the network marketing industry do not do it on a full-time basis, and actually do it as a secondary source of income. And as they grow, on occasion, once their part-time income surpasses their full-time, commitments, they actually start to make those decisions to come into this full time. And it was even like that for myself and Rhonda, is that, when we first got started in the business, it was 4 years. It was really 4 years that we kind of stayed at the emerald level, and we were making some good additional money. And it was 4 years, or 2012, when we actually made the decision to go full time into Organo and make this a career. And over the last 6 to 7 years, it's going to be 7 years in 2019. It truly has been, the greatest decision that we've ever made inside of our business, to be able to, build the relationships and build a, truly a residual income. A residual income meaning that when I sleep, I get paid. And that is so important, because now I know I'm not going to have to work for the rest of my life. And that's what I love about network marketing, and I love about Organo. It truly has been able to give us that. So get paid to drink and share coffee, tea, hot chocolate, and anything else that we have inside of our line. So those are really those are 3 of the options that I believe that Organo has available for everyone. And when you're having these conversations with people, no matter where it is around the world, these are the types of conversations you want to have. Is, what are you interested most in? What interests you most? Buying some products from me directly, maybe getting it at a discounted wholesale rate, or maybe buying it and getting paid to drink it and share it. Let me show you how to do that. So next thing I want to talk about, so hopefully you got those notes, you wrote that down. And the next thing I want to talk about is I consider that anything that you do in life that requires time is truly an investment, because it really is our number one asset, is time. We only, as human beings, we share a lot of things, one of those being that we only have 24 hours in a day, and none of us is guaranteed that actual 24 hours. And it's very interesting when you think about the fact that that you have choices, and maybe you weren't aware of these choices, but everywhere that Organo participates in the business, people have a choice to do or not to do. And really that's what it comes down to. And so I don't like to use the words spend time, because I think that when you spend something, you're not expecting a return on that investment. I like to use the words invest time. And anything that I consider an investment, has to do with time and or money. All right. So, you'll invest time with your kids, you'll invest time in your community, you'll invest time with, your charities, with your churches, that kind of thing. And that's an important investment, because, it truly does pay dividends when you're actually able to give more than you receive. And that's what I love about Organo, is that it truly does teach those core philosophies, truly does teach the golden rule, is do unto others as you would have done unto you. It truly is the golden rule that Napoleon Hill speaks about in many of his writings. And so what I want to do is I want to talk about 5 considerations of an investment, because it truly is an investment. If you're using your time and your money, it's an investment. So the first thing that I look at when I invest my time and my money into something is stability. I want to know, is there a market? Is there a market for what it is that I'm going to, participate with? Is that market going to last? So, stability is important. Does whatever it is that I'm looking at, does it have existing results? Has there been some results? Is there some evidence of success? Do people want what I have? That's very important, because again, the old saying goes is that money is no problem. The problem is no money. And people have money. People have the means to do things if they can see what it is that you see. And you've got to be able to connect better with people, because when you connect better with people, you're able to create more solutions with those people. And as more solutions are created, you're going to receive more results. So stability is the number one thing that I look at in a business. Will it benefit others? Yes, it will benefit others. Is it an opportunity? Is it something that is proven, something that has been out there, something that people recognize? I think that's a very important thing. The second thing that I look at is, the uniqueness of the business, uniqueness of the product. And when you look at Organo, you really think to yourself, okay, well, coffee's not very unique. But in fact, the uniqueness of coffee is that it's everywhere. there's very few products in the world that are consumed in every single country in the world. Coffee is one of them. So the uniqueness of that is amazing. It's unique that coffee is one of the top traded commodities in the world, meaning that it is continuously always in demand. And the fact that the world wants it is very unique. So when you look at this particular business model, you know, the uniqueness of Organo is the fact that everybody already has used or knows what it is that we are actually sharing with people around the world. And it truly is. Everywhere I go around the world, and I have conversations with this all the time, and people ask me, you know, what is it about Organo that really you know, inspires you to keep going every day? And I said, it's the product. It's the product. It's something that people are never going to stop using. And I know that if I've got something that people want, they're never going to stop spending money on it. And that's just an amazing business opportunity in itself right there. Third thing I look at is market share. You know, how big of a market is it really that I have? I mean, you know, there's things out there that are brand new and cutting edge and state of the art and you know, a lot of great things that people can get excited about. But what I look at is what is the potential for the market to grow? You know, how big is it today? You know, is it a trend and is it a demand? Well, the answer is yes and yes. You know, how big can it grow? Well, how big will the world become? That's how big it can grow. And again, I go back to, you know, a big check mark on that. And then, you know, the fourth thing I think about when I'm looking at considering an investment is, you know, the profitability. You know, what is the potential for profit inside of anything that I'm going to invest in? You know, and what does it require? Well, I can tell you right now that the profitability, the potential inside of Organo using coffee and the products that we have, it truly has no cap. Truly has no amount that can be you know, limited to. And I know that you know, as we continue to keep growing like we are in South Africa and so on and so forth, what that does is it just increases the belief in what it is that we have. And it really just, you know, it really just comes back to us and says, look, you know, what you're thinking is correct. You know, the world wants what you have. And the profitability in it is based on your production. And see, that's something that you're going to have to realize, ladies and gentlemen, is that no matter what you're doing inside of life, what sort of investment you have, what sort of things that you're looking at, you know, whether you've got real estate, you've got, you know, stocks, bonds, you've got, you know, things inside of the, you know, the blockchain or the cryptocurrency space that we now, you know, obviously are participating in inside of Organo, as well as we become a, you know, a technology and innovation type company. You know, it doesn't matter what it is that you're participating in. You know, you've got to be able to say to yourself, look, you know, I can do something with this if I'm willing to go out and produce. So you're going to have a system no matter where it is that you go, whether it's traditional business or whether you're, you know, you're continuing to keep working inside of Organo and growing and growing and growing. You're going to have to follow a system of success no matter where it is. And the profitability is always going to be based on your effort and your production. And so if you're willing to produce, is there profitability inside of this business? Absolutely, there's profitability. There's literally billions of dollars available in commissions available for everyone who gets started. Doesn't matter if you've been in since the day one, like myself, or this is your first day inside of Organo. It's definitely profitable, and you've got huge potential. And then the fifth thing that I look at, which is one of the most important things to me, is ease, the simplicity of the business. Is it something that's going to require a lot of training, a lot of expertise, a lot of background that, you know, in something, you know, specific? You know, does it require specialized knowledge, as Napoleon Hill speaks about? And the answer in this particular business model is no. The simple fact is that if you know, if you or anyone you know drink coffee, tea, or hot chocolate at least occasionally, you qualify for the business. And I love that about this business because it doesn't leave anyone out. You know, it's open for everyone from everywhere, from every age, over the age of 18. So I think that, you know, those are some very important things that I look at when I, you know, analyze, you know, any type of business opportunity that comes by that I want to take a look at. And again, it's, you know, is it stable? does it have a uniqueness? Does it have market share? Is it profitable? Is it a profitability factor? Huge, big, good? And what is the simplicity or the ease of operating in the business? So I think that when you think about this, whether you're listening to this for the first time or you're on it again, always go back to that. Always go back to those key characteristics, those key things in making your decision. Because, I speak to people all the time who have, who are going through the process to success. They have challenges, they have this, they have that, they have doubts. And I keep going back to the same thing. I said, why did you get started with Organo? What was it that you loved most when you got started with Organo? And they all have different reasons, but it usually comes back to the fact of this, is that, well, I couldn't, the coffee, the products, they were easy. The way that we build the business by just sharing, that seemed really, that seemed really, interesting to me. And I was really interested in how that would work. And, what really got me started in the business is the fact that it was my business, but I definitely wasn't in business alone. People are going to help me to achieve my goals and my dreams. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, what we have inside of Organo, is that we never stop working together as one team with one dream. So, I always like to, kind of give you, sort of a straightening up now. And, I read every day, and I'm sure that you've heard this before, that, there's not a big difference between people who are wealthy and people who are not wealthy yet. And really what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen, it comes down to their habits. It comes down to what they do every day consistently. And one of the things that leaders do is they acquire knowledge every day. Leaders are readers, listening to audio or reading. And I read every day, and I try to become better every day, and I try to just make sure that I'm on my game. It's kind of like going to the gym, consistently, you're going to start to see the results. But if you go to the gym every 3 years, not only are you going to be in a lot of pain, but you're not going to get a lot of results, because there's, you have no consistency in that action. Right? So I always like to come back to this when I speak to people. I say, look, you get out of life what you tolerate. So let me say that again. You get out of life what you tolerate. So in other words, you get what you accept and believe you are worthy of. Remember that. You get what you accept and believe you are worthy of. So really what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen, is stuff doesn't happen to you. It happens because of you. And when you start to take responsibility for where you are in your life right now, being that your success is your fault, because when you reach success, you're the one that's going to be celebrated. And you're going to be celebrated for the things that you do when nobody's watching. That's the important thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that you've got to acquire wealth management habits. You've got to, if you want to become wealthy, wealth is a mindset. People can become rich by working, but you can only become wealthy by working on your mind. So one of the things that makes this business much easier to actually go through is the relationships, is the associations that we have around the world, is the environment that we've created. And I know Stephen Nielsen talked about it the other day on the call, is, your environment is so important to you. It's so critical because really it has such an influence over you. And it's easy for people to say, just ignore everybody around you, because if everybody around you was right, they'd be rich. Well, the fact is that we live places. We live with people. We're born into families. We have childhood friends. We have people that we've known for decades, And sometimes, those are the decisions that have to be made. But again, until you're aware that it's an important decision, maybe you don't consider it. But I'll tell you right now that there's 4 levels of association that I always consider, and I always teach when people are asking me, what can I do to become better? And the first thing that I ask them is, I say, who do you associate with? And so they tell me. And so I end up, finding out very quickly that, to make the process more effective, the success, system that we have, it's important that you associate with the right people. Now, to associate with the right people, sometimes you're going to have to start with disassociations. Number one, old friends, people not on your path. So sometimes you have to disassociate with people that you've known your whole life because they just don't get what you're doing, or they haven't seen what you've seen, and they just don't have your vision or your mission. Now, I'm not saying that you have to never talk to them again or speak to them again, but, a lot of, you can read everywhere and you can listen to people from anywhere that have success, and they'll tell you that, the people that they spend the most time with, they become like. So if you're spending time with people who have a broke mentality or don't get what you're doing or are interested in doing things the way that it's always been done, and one day hoping that, the lottery numbers will come in and they'll all of a sudden be fabulously rich, or maybe they become a rap artist, or maybe they're like someone like, Rod Smith, who's a superior athlete and win 2 Super Bowls. Well, the chances of that happening are slim to none. And, what's going to end up happening is you're going to have the same conversations with the same people, and you're going to be getting the same results. So sometimes you got to take that disassociation. It's hard. And sometimes you just got to come to them and say, look, guys, for a little while here, I'm not going to be around. I've got things to do. I've got people that I've got to, I've got people I got to learn from. So disassociation is step one. Step two is sometimes you're going to have to limit the associations. And this is where I found in my own personal experience, this is where my family members came into effect, is that, you can't disown your family. You can't disassociate with your family in some cases. There's different situations all around, wherever you are around the world. But I found this to be very challenging because, when I found Organo, the first people that we went to were our family. And we were so excited, and we were so motivated, and we were so looking for people just to jump on board, and the people we go to first is our family, because they're the people that know us, and we don't have to pretend around them, and we don't have to, they know where we come from, and they know what we're doing. And in some cases, ladies and gentlemen, the family becomes the most negative influence that you can have inside of this business, because you know what, they don't get what you know, because sometimes you're just going to have to, make a decision and say, look, you know what? I love you, mom and dad, brother, sister, uncles and aunts. You've been in my life my whole life, and you're going to continue to be in my life my whole life. But I've got some big dreams, some big goals, and I've met some new people, and I've got new direction. And I truly would appreciate the fact that you understand that I might have to miss some of the family dinners. I might have to miss, some of the picnics and some of the things that we do on weekends, because I've got a business to build. I've got big dreams and big goals, and I know that a job's not going to get me there. I know that, I will not have enough at the end of 40 years to be able to live the rest of my life the way that I really dream and the way that I see other people living. I know that's not going to happen to me. So I'm going to have to, spend a little bit less time in this group and move on to people that, that are going in my direction. So the third type of association, so you got disassociation, limited association. The third type of association is what I like to call expanded association. Now, your expanded association is going to be your new friends moving in the same direction. It's going to be new people that come into the business with you. It's going to be attending events, meeting people, getting to know them, connecting with them on Facebook or on any social media threads. It's just changing the environment. See, it's much easier for you to achieve more when you're around people that are success-minded. And it's so important that you expand that association. And you can do that, like I said, by making a decision to spend the time you would have spent with people who were non-productive inside of your life. And I mean, really, it sounds a little bit businessy, non-productive. My mom and dad are non-productive in my life. Not really, but, there's time to move. You've got to move on. And I'm just saying this because this is what happened to me and my mom and dad. And they didn't understand. And I even know that Rhonda's mom and dad too, when we first got started in the business, they complained that we were way too much. That we've got 2 boys, we've got kids, they're young kids. When we got started in the business, they were, my youngest son was just born, and my oldest son was 4 years old. And, we had to get out there and we had to work, and there was weekends and things like that. Well, we had to ask the family to help us. We had to have, can you watch the kids? Can you do that? And they didn't understand it. and it started to, you know, kind of, you know, the comments were coming, you know, well, you know, you decided to be parents, you know, what is it, what, you got to make a choice. And, you know, and I said to them, look, we did make a choice. We made a choice to set our family free. And they didn't get that. But I'll tell you what, it changed. You know, when Rhonda and I went diamond in 2012, in February 2012, we actually invited our parents to the event. And there was thousands of people there. And if you've ever been to an event, you'll know what I mean. It's emotional and it's impactful. And there's just so much going on. And we invited our parents, and they sat in the VIP section because, you know, they're not even in Organo, but they were our VIPs. They were our guests. They got to see our knighting. And I can tell you, everything changed that day for them and the way that they looked at what we were doing for our kids. And it was events. It was events were impactful. So, you know, sometimes, though, we have to just limit that association, and we got to expand our association. And then the fourth one, the fourth thing that I talk about with associations is you need to start to build peak performance partners. And peak performance partners, write that down, peak performance partners are people, are coaches, are your mentors, are people like that you're going to see on these millionaire mentorship calls, people that that have done and are doing the things that you want to achieve. And it's amazing when you start to build those associations. And here's the great news, ladies and gentlemen, is that inside of Organo, I've never met a successful person inside of Organo, a person that has, committed to the system, has reached some results, that is not willing to help others do the same. And that's what's available, ladies and gentlemen, is that we have such amazing people inside of this business, and such great people that know and understand that their success was because somebody else cared enough about them one time, so they want to share that with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the the 4 levels of association or your environment. So again, sometimes you're going to have to disassociate. Just turn people off for now. They're going to have to just wait and see what happens to you. You're going to have to limit those associations. You're going to have to then start to expand the associations. Start building that success team. Success-minded team. And then, of course, you're going to have to, work with, peak performance partners, coaches, mentors, people that have your best interest in mind. One thing that's important inside of, as you build your associations is you need to protect yourself. You need to protect your emotions, your mental stability. You need to protect your physical space. These are all things that we control, and you've got to make sure that you just don't give that away. Don't let people into that space that aren't going in the same direction that you're going. Be very clear and distinct on where you're going and how you're getting there, because if you don't, and you're not aware that that's something that is important to your success, then it's going to affect the level of success and the time it takes for you to get there. So again, ladies and gentlemen, that is a little piece of advice that I want you to really consider as you're building this business and continue to keep doing so. So I'm just going to check. I'm just going to check my time here. Sorry, just 1 second. What do we have here? Oh, I'm back. Okay, I just had to check my time there. So what I want to talk about now is what I like to call the 5 C's to success. The 5 C's to success, and it's kind of like a ladder. So when you think about when you think about your success, think of it as a ladder of success. So you're walking up the ladder, and everything starts with the first step. What do they say? A journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. And that's really what we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is we have a ladder to success. And I like to call it the 5 C's to success. And so imagine, you've got steps of success that you need to go to. And the first step of success is the beginning. And, the first C is what I call is the confused. So we get started in the business. And it's an emotional buy. Usually there's two reasons why people start in this and start anything new, and it's either through inspiration or through desperation. People have often talked about that, and it's interesting when you think about the fact that we all start confused. We all start with a dream, but we really don't know what we're doing. And when we're confused, the next step is to confess. The next C is confess. So first we're confused, don't really know what we're doing, but we create some partnerships. We start to expand our association, and we confess. Say, look, I need some help. I need somebody to help me to get to the next level of success. And I don't think I can do this on my own. I was confused, but now I just need some help. So the second step is confess. The next step is what I like to call the comfort. So when you get some help, what happens is you start to get a little bit comfortable. You start to get some results. I did a few CJMs. I got a few boxes of coffee sold. I got one or two people started in my business. I'm making a little bit of money here. I start to get comfortable. And sometimes we get stuck there. Sometimes we get stuck in our comfort zone, and it's good enough. Well, remember always that you've got to picture bigger and you got to picture faster. So in that comfort zone is really not where you want to stay very long. It's important that you take those steps from being confused and then confessing that you need some help, and then the comfort to get some results. But the next step you got to take is you got to build the confidence. The confidence is the next step, and that's the confidence going to be created by action. You've got to have that action to be able to do more, to learn more, and to just get out there and get more done. So when you do that, and you have that confidence, that brings you to the last step, which is consistency. And we always talk about consistency being one of the key factors in your success module or your success model. And when you get that consistent, that confident consistency, then you know that you're on the way to bigger and better things. Sorry, one more thing. I'm just going to check again here with my time. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm actually not on my computer. I'm just on my phone, so I wanted to make sure that I've got enough time here. So I apologize for that. I've got about 8 minutes left. So again, when you look at the 5 C's to success, I always like to teach this because it gives people a ladder to follow. And somewhere in between there's going to be people that are confused, that are in the comfort zone, that are building their confidence, and they're staying consistent. And you've got to be able, as a leader, and yourself included, first you need to do it before that you can teach it, because people are not going to believe. They're not going to. What I found really is this: is that in most cases people really don't remember what you tell them. They remember how you made them feel. And ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you that when you have an emotional impact on people, somehow you connect with them on an emotional level, it goes so much deeper, and there's going to be more that can happen because of that connection. So you've got to, you've got to not so much be in the mode of selling. Shane Moran says it best: is we don't sell coffee, people just buy it. What we're sharing is what people want. And when people want what we have, they'll find a way to get it. And you have to be the one that's going to be willing to be able to go through that process with them and make that happen. So, as you grow in this business, you're going to become better every day as well. And as you become better every day, you become a better example. And the better example you become, the more you're going to attract people to what it is you're doing. See, it's not so much about you chasing success, because when you have a success mentality and you understand how success is created, success chases you. And that's true, ladies and gentlemen. It absolutely does happen. Is that by following these simple steps to success, more will come. And it's all about staying consistent in your actions. That's number one. We all start confused and we end with consistency. If we can stay consistent in what we're doing and get results from it, success is, success is right there. So again, I know I've got a couple minutes left, and I just want to finish off with this last message. And I feel like in our business, we really have 4 powerful allied partners. There's 4 things that I do every day that really have propelled me through this business and continue to keep propelling me through this business wherever I am around the world. And I call them my four powerful allies. The first one is momentum. And you know, you've heard people speak about momentum. You know, you got to get the ball rolling. You know, it takes a lot of effort to move that big rock 1 inch, but once it gets moving, then it's you know, it's great to do. But I want to talk about momentum like this. I just want to say, look, do something every day. Just start moving. Just do something intentional every day. It doesn't have to be a big thing, ladies and gentlemen, because I know that success is made up of small parts of consistent actions. And sometimes we look at, you know, where we are today and we say, man, I'm so behind. I'm so in the, you know, I got so much debt. I've got this happen. I got that happen. And we focus on all of the excuses why we can't make it happen. But when you focus on the excuses, you never, ever will find solutions, ladies and gentlemen. So this is what I say to people, look, just do something today. Just move, okay? Just make a commitment to sample one person. Make a commitment to listen to one audio. Make a commitment to read 10 pages of a book. You know, make a commitment to do one follow-up call. Make a commitment to listen to one replay of the Millionaire Mentorship call. Make a commitment to do something every day, just one thing, small thing. The second thing is you need to complete something. So do it, complete it. Do something small. Like I said, you know what? In the morning, make your bed. If you're a person that normally doesn't make their bed when they wake up in the morning, make your bed. Have a good breakfast. Pack a good lunch maybe. You know what? Do 5 push-ups. Do 5 sit-ups. Just complete something. Check it off the list. Whether you keep a list or you do not keep a list, I recommend you do. But you got to move and you got to complete something. Just complete it. Just get it on the list. It doesn't matter if it's small. I'm telling you right now, it's the way you form habits. You know what? If you've got the ability at lunchtime, you know, wherever it is that you work, maybe go for a walk instead of sit in the lunchroom, or bring your lunch with you and walk with it. You know, something small like that. You can always think of something small that you can complete. Feeling of completion gives you the energy to go do more. All right? The next one, reflection. What did you do today? How did it make you feel? So reflect back on the things that you did today and how it made you feel. And then you're going to do it again tomorrow. Again, small things. Start something, complete something, look back at it and say, man, I actually did something today. That was great. Tomorrow I'm going to do this, this, and this. And the last one is celebrate. Be happy that you recognize that you did something. Simple, right? Get moving, complete something, recognize that you did, and celebrate. You know what? Today I did 5 push-ups. Tomorrow I'm going to do 6. You know what? I called 1 person today. Tomorrow I'm going to call 2. You know, it's pretty easy. I actually got, you know, I was really surprised at how easy it was. And actually, I know more than I thought I knew. This is pretty awesome. I feel great. Celebrate those small successes every day. Small successes just open the door to big, big things, ladies and gentlemen. So in conclusion, I'm going to finish off now. In conclusion, just remember this, is that you cannot be everything to your group. You can't be everything. You can, however, choose to be a better example every day. As a leader, you never truly have control. You may, however, have influence. It won't be from what you say as much as from what you do. So hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, you enjoyed our talk today. You took away some value. You took some notes. You're going to be able to look back at those notes if you like what you heard. If you're listening on the replay, great, welcome. If you like what you heard, you know, send it out to other people. Let them know that there's some value here, because that's truly my goal, ladies and gentlemen. My goal is to get you to the top and to keep you there. And we can do that together by simply changing, you know, our associations, you know, doing a little bit more every day, creating those habits, staying consistent, And ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. That's my message for today. And I'm going to leave you with the immortal words of Steve Jobs. Let's make it simple. Really simple. God bless, and we'll talk to you all soon. See you at the next OG event. Bye for now.